Elias Pettersson is one of the most exciting and talented players to ever lace up for the Vancouver Canucks. Even before he joined the Canucks in 2018, the hype for him was unbelievable, and justifiably so considering he dominated the SHL as an 18-year-old, putting up 56 points and 24 goals in just 44 games. He would go on to win the SHL championship, and also win the playoff MVP award unanimously. The guy was so good that he literally got the nickname the Alien during his time in Sweden. And once this alien came across the pond to join the Canucks, my goodness, did he ever live up to all the hype.
Pettersson, here's Elias Pettersson, and shoots! Scores! His first goal in the NHL!
Petey was an instant fan favorite in Vancouver. He had a confidence about himself, both on and off the ice, that was honestly hard to miss. He made incredible plays on a seemingly nightly basis thanks to his combination of speed, agility, and power.
Speed, agility, power. I'm a big fan of these things.
And off the ice, the guy wasn't afraid to give media members the death stare when asked not-so-great questions. Pettersson has consistently been one of the best players on this Canucks roster ever since he joined the team in 2018. Even as recently as March of this year, Pettersson was dominating the league, putting up 29 goals and 75 points in the first 62 games of this past season. That's a 99-point pace over an 82-game season that put him on track to replicate what he had done in the 2 seasons prior. But that's where things have started to go wrong. Since March of this year, his production has fallen off a cliff, putting up just 6 goals and 23 points in 39 games. That's a ridiculously low 48-point pace over a full season, which is a far cry from the 100-point player Canucks fans have become accustomed to. And this doesn't just feel like an unlucky stretch where things just might not be going his way statistically. The eye test has been just as concerning if you've watched him play recently. I've struggled to find a word to describe his play of late, but I think the best way to describe it is that he's been playing timid. But why is this? What has changed to cause such a drastic drop in the performance of one of the game's most exciting superstars? Well, the most obvious and frequently talked about reason for his drop-off has been his brand new $92 million contract, which was signed almost exactly when Petey's play started to drop off. The argument has been that the pressure of the contract has been too much to handle psychologically for Pettersson. And to be fair to these pundits, there is some merit to this argument, because this isn't the first time Pettersson's play has suffered after signing a big contract. He went through a similar, although not as drastic, slump after signing his first big deal in 2021. And if you read through the Reddit threads from 2021, you could easily mistake them for the ones being made today on the Canucks subreddit. The guy has never looked this invisible. The guy can't skate, can't take a pass, can't give a pass. A stiff breeze would knock him off the puck and on his ass. That's a very critical, kind of poetic but fair criticism of Pettersson's play in 2021. And honestly, at some points in recent months, you could easily use the same comment to describe his current play. So it's hard to fully refute that Pettersson doesn't feel the pressure of a big contract looming over him. It does seem to have some impact on his psychology, considering his 2 biggest slumps in the NHL have come directly after signing big deals. But on the other hand, Pettersson does have a track record of performing well in high-stakes and pressure-filled situations, like his dominance in the SHL playoffs as a teenager, and his excellent play in his first appearance in the NHL playoffs where he finished with 18 points in 17 games in the bubble. So I don't fully buy that his recent struggles are completely associated with the pressure of his new contract and the expectations that come with it. I think there's a little bit more to it. Here's a comparison between Pettersson's underlying metrics in the 22-23 season, which was inarguably his best regular season to date, in comparison to this season so far. Looking at his skating, both his top speed and his 20-mile-an-hour bursts are considerably down from his best. His numbers in the 22-23 season put him in the 90th percentile when it comes to these 2 metrics, which means he had a higher top skating speed and more 20-mile-an-hour bursts than 90% of all NHLers that season. But this year, his numbers put him in the bottom half of the league. And even if you look at his shooting, which has always been a strong attribute for Pettersson, it's considerably worse this year in comparison to his best season. His top shot speed is down from 96 miles an hour to a measly 82 miles an hour. This is the same guy who won the hardest shot competition in the All-Star game a couple of years ago, who now somehow has a worse shot than Ilya Mikheyev. It's just hard to believe that there isn't a physical issue with his ability to shoot, because he seems reluctant to shoot as well, considering his shots per 60 rate is down by more than half in comparison to his 2022-23 rate. It seems like he looks for every other possible play before thinking about shooting the puck. Obviously, his confidence probably plays a big part in this as well, but it also feels like there's something physically wrong given how drastically his power is down this year. And Pettersson has talked about a lingering tendonitis issue in his knee, which could at least somewhat explain his skating issues. And it could also explain why his shot power is down as well, considering how important your legs are when you're trying to generate power in your shots. But the weird part is that he hasn't missed a single practice or game since his production has nosedived. So if there is a physical issue, both Pettersson and the medical staff clearly don't feel it's worthy of sitting him out or resting him to allow whatever's bothering him to fully heal. And that's the part that confuses me most as a fan. As a Canucks fan who's watched almost every game of Pettersson's NHL career, the Pettersson we're seeing on the ice is clearly not at 100%, especially when it comes to his offensive tools. But to give him credit, his defensive game throughout his recent slump has been as good as ever, if not even better. If we go back to this graphic, but now look at his defensive metrics, they're better almost across the board. Some of these are minor improvements, but there are some significant changes in his metrics from 2 years ago. Specifically, his goals against per 60 and his hits per 60 show huge improvements in Petey's ability to make an impact on the defensive side of the ice. He's a consistent member of Vancouver's penalty kill, which ranks amongst the top 10 in the league. His defensive play clearly shows to me that this isn't an effort issue. He hasn't just stopped trying after signing his big deal like a lot of fans and media members have speculated. And this isn't a case of hockey IQ just vanishing from a player either. The guy is still able to read plays well on the defensive end thanks to his legitimately elite hockey IQ. I think that at the end of the day, the only logical explanation to his recent drop-off in offensive ability is a combination of the added pressure of his big contract in a hockey-crazy market like Vancouver, and some kind of nagging injury that's hampering his ability to skate and shoot. Considering how significantly his skating metrics and shooting metrics have fallen off, that doesn't just happen because of a lack of confidence alone. So I hope that Vancouver stays patient with Pettersson. We have to remember that he's gone through a similar spell of play before, and he came out of it with, inarguably, his best statistical season the very next year. What do you guys think about this whole Pettersson situation? I know this has been a hotly debated talking point for the past 6 months in Vancouver, and honestly around the league as well. So I hope you found this more data-driven video helpful. Also, I realize I haven't posted for the past few months, so I really appreciate if you've stuck around till now. I'm planning to start uploading more consistently again, so I hope you subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more videos just like this one. Thanks so much for watching.